Hello guys, welcome back to Faith Inspired Lifestyle. I'm your host Edith, and it's a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon where I am. I hope it's the same where you are, but it is my pleasure to give you a word of encouragement this afternoon, because I believe that this word is specifically for somebody out there. So this word is for the people who are in a place of uncertainty. You are in a place where nothing seems to make sense, and it's hard for you to figure things out at the moment. You are like in between two bad places and you do not know which direction to turn to. I'm going to use a Bible story. I love Bible stories. I love to teach with Bible stories. And I'm going to be using the story of the 4 lepers of Samaria. These guys were lepers. They had a medical condition that required them being ostracized from the city, and they were at the city gates. At the same time, there was a horrible famine happening in the city, and things were so bad from the story we read in the Bible that women were forced to eat their children. So we see these 4 lepers who have a medical condition, meaning they have a personal problem that they were dealing with. And then they also had a communal problem, like there was a problem with the community. There was famine. And I'm sure a lot of us can just relate to that at the moment, where you have your own personal problems that you're dealing with. It could be a relational challenge, it could be a health challenge, it could be something with your business, your ministry, something personal to you. At the same time, we have a communal problem. If you are living in this part of the world, currently in Nigeria where I'm living in, then you must have been confronted with a lot of communal problems that we are having as a country. So when you add the two together, it makes a perfect recipe for depression and for frustration in times like this. And so these guys were deeply frustrated. Obviously they were deeply depressed, and they spoke among themselves about their situation. And I know a lot of us have been speaking about this situation. You have been talking to your friends, you have been talking to your family members about the situation that you are currently in. And during the course of their conversation, they came to a point where they decided they were going to step out of the city. Wow! Now, that is the craziest decision that they could have made, because the enemy had a camp in front of the city gate. So they were placed under a siege, and it was not wise in any way for them to step out of the city into the camp of the enemy. But as a result of the conversation that they had among themselves, they decided that they were going to take the risk of stepping into the camp of the enemy, because they saw that there was nothing in the city for them, and they were so tired of being in the same spot waiting for death to happen. Now, what the lepers were unaware of was that the prophet Elisha had released a word. A word had been released by the prophet Elisha, a word that was going to change the entire fate of the nation of Samaria. And they were not aware of this, because that word was spoken to the king. Now, you see these lepers who are out going about their business, getting frustrated with their reality, and then making a risky decision to step out into the enemy's camp, unaware that there is a prophetic word that has been released by the prophet Elisha. And we have people right now, that's what the Lord is saying to me, that there are people out there who are currently frustrated with their reality. Nothing seems to be happening in the city for you. And when you look out of the city where you are, you see the threat of the enemy. The enemy's camp is set before you, and it's a real threat. A threat that can take your life. But at the same time, you are in a city where there's no respite for you. And then you have your own personal problems. So it's a combination of depressing circumstances and situations on all faces. But what you are not aware of is there is a prophetic word that has been released. Just as the prophetic had been released concerning Samaria, the lepers were unaware of the prophetic word, but they were aware of their depressing situation. And they made a decision to step out into the enemy's camp. Now, this is what the Lord is saying. Let the depression that you are feeling, let the anxiety that you are feeling be what motivates you to step out of your camp. For some of you, that camp is a place of comfort. It's a place where you have derived comfort for a very long time. It's a place where you have been associated with, a place where you are known at, a place where you are comfortable at. But now the Lord is saying that the time has come for you to move, and you are going to be moving not because something nice is happening, not because something pleasant suddenly came up, but you are going to be moving because you are completely depressed, tired of your current reality. But listen to this. If you make that move, says the Lord, you are going to be activating prophecy that you are unaware of. I'm going to say that again. If you make that move, says the Lord, you are going to be activating prophecy that you are unaware of. If you take that step, you are going to be activating prophecy that you are not aware of. And that which you sense as the enemy's territory is that which the Lord is waiting to give to you. Because we are stepping and we have stepped into a season where God is bringing his sons and his daughters into positions of authority and handing over to them that which the enemy has kept hidden for a very long time. So do not take that depression that you are feeling and just sit on it and brood on it. God is saying, let that depression, let that discomfort, let that frustration, let it move you to take a step out of your comfort zone. And if you make that move, says the Lord, you will be activating prophecy that you are not aware of. Because the time has come and the season is here where the sons and daughters of God will possess their possession, where they will step out of their comfort zone into the territory of the enemy, where the enemy has laid a siege, where the enemy has placed their camp. They will go into those places of the enemy, and they will take that which the enemy has held onto for a very long time. I love you guys, and it's always my pleasure to bring the word of the Lord to you. If you have been blessed by this message, please feel free to share this with a friend. God bless you. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you.